Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this webinar, which we are conducting with Vaibhav. Vaibhav has been a pet behaviorist for a long while. So, the format of this webinar is that for the first 30 minutes, we will be talking about these preset topics, which include basics of pet training, separation anxiety, aggression in dogs, and also, since we're approaching Diwali, a few tips so that we can keep our pets less anxious during Diwali. Vaibhav, thank you so much for making time to do this. Welcome to Perfectly Made first ever webinar. We are very excited to learn lots more from you.
Thank you, Arpita, for inviting for the webinar. I hope I'll be able to answer most of the queries from the parents today. Let's see how it goes.
Let's
Thank
see.
you for
Let's
invitation again.
My pleasure. And let's start with the first topic of the day, which is basic of pet training. Tell us a little more about when we have new pets, how do we train them? How do we make them listen, and how we show them that, without upsetting them or hitting them or, being angry with them, how do we train them?
Yeah, first of all, talking about the pet training is a huge aspect which cannot be defined into couple of statements. But then, on a high level, what we have to understand, and I don't work on training the pets. I work on addressing the concerns of the pet parents towards their pet. That means it's a mutual thing that I work. That means parent has to understand certain things from the pet side, and pet has to learn few things that are not appreciated and approved in human community. So it goes hand in hand. When we talk about training, it's only the pet has to learn. But what I do is updating the pet parents and working with the pet to make sure the concerns are addressed. Now, it's very important. It's very important whenever you get your pet, know about your pet. In pet training, there is no knowing about your pet, whereas every parent should know about their pet. Pet dog being a different species than human, we might not be aware of all the instinct of a dog. All the pet parents should know about the basic instinct of a dog so that they set the right expectation from this species. Also, certain traits of the breed. So, whenever you get a breed, you should know the basic traits of that breed so that you set the expectations accordingly. I'll give you certain examples. So, if somebody, some pet parent expect anyone to come and fix the puppy's biting behavior, it cannot be fixed 100%. It cannot be fixed. Nobody should expect that the puppy would stop puppy biting to the furniture at home or the humans at home. What we have to target is how to make it manageable. So unless we don't set the right expectation, unless we don't have the understanding of this species, we'll keep on expecting somebody to come and fix this problem. So don't go with what you see in Google or YouTube or see in neighbor's pet, because every pet, just like human kid, is a different personality. You have to understand your pet better than expecting somebody to come and fix all your problems, just like pet being a machine. So you should never do that. Connect with the professional if you don't know about this species. But whenever you put up a question to the professional, whenever you connect to a professional, ask why your pet is doing certain things. If you don't understand the reason of certain behavior, you'll never be able to fix it. Again, giving you an example, I keep on getting up the queries, or not even, in fact, queries, the statements from the pet parents that my 8 month old puppy is still puppy biting. No, sorry, puppy biting because of teething. See, teething doesn't happen until 8 months of age. It happens when the teeth are growing. Either it is puppy teeth coming or the adult teeth coming. Apart from that, when the pet is using his teeth for biting purpose, there could be some other reason. Unless you don't diagnose it, you'll not be able to fix it. And that is the reason many a times parents will keep on getting the toys to give it to the puppies, thinking that it's because of the teething, puppies biting, which doesn't solve the problem. And it becomes overwhelming. And many times during this initial 4 5 month, parents regret about their decision to get the pet at home. So to avoid this situation, please know why your pet is showing certain behaviors and then try to remove that reason of the behavior rather than suppressing that behavior.
Understood. So, what I am understanding from what you have said, Weber, is three things when it comes to pet training. Before any training per se we do, First, we have to understand our pet. When we bring a dog home, we have to understand whether it's a mischievous dog, whether it's a naughty dog, whether it's an aggressive dog, whether it's a docile dog, whether it's a scared dog. I think all these traits we find in a lot of pets as well, right? So first we have
Yes,
to look at our own pet and understand what the pet is about. We have to read up about the breed to understand this breed might come with certain traits, which also I, from my experience, Vaibhav, of having had close to about 9 pets so far in my entire life, वो कभी traits, sometimes traits don't match even the breed. You could find a very docile German Shepherd while they're supposed to be aggressive, right? So knowing your pet is very important. I think once you know the pet, how to deal with the pet becomes easier. Am I right when I say that?
exactly. Yes, 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 yes. Because you set up the right expectations from your pet. Just to give you another example, people expecting the golden retrievers not to get excited to meet other dogs and humans is impractical expectation. You cannot expect a golden retriever, lab, or beagle to not show over excitement to go meet other dogs or other humans. We have to set. And on the other hand, you cannot expect your Rottweiler to be comfortable anybody coming and petting on the head. So
Right.
unless you don't understand the trait of the breed and on a higher level the dog's instinct, you will not be able to justify, and the life with the pet will keep on becoming overwhelming for the pet parents.
Agreed. So same thing. As pet parents, I think we, like we do for our human children, we have to understand the behavior of the pet. We have to understand the characteristics of the pet, the characteristics of that breed, and only then I think decide if this is normal behavior or abnormal behavior. Correct. And
Exactly.
like you said, for puppies will chew. It is what they do. But if they are chewing till above a certain age that they're not supposed to chew, instead of making blanket statements that they are chewing because they're teething, I think we need to go deeper and understand why that's happening, at which stage probably come to a vet, come to a behaviorist, and try and understand ki even at 8 months, why is the puppy still chewing? Correct?
Yes, exactly, exactly. Reach out to the professional the moment you see that you are not getting answers for your problem. So it's not bad to Google or YouTube, but after applying certain techniques, if you are not figuring out the solution for your problem, reach out to the professional. And even for the professional, if after a couple of sessions your concerns are not being addressed significantly, then you might have to look out for another professional.
Understood. That makes a lot of sense. Now, coming to the next thing, which I think most we've got, I think the most number of questions we've got is separation anxiety. I think what has happened is, I think most of us have become pet parents during lockdown, where we felt the need for, or some of us have been pet parents forever, but 2 years we were now full time with our with our pets, right? And suddenly, when we have all gone back to work, all our pets are going through this massive separation anxiety. So, how do we help our pets deal with this anxiety and make them little less anxious so that we are not guilty when we go to work or leave them alone?
Yeah, yes, separation anxiety after the COVID has been one of the major issues for the pets and the parents, and especially when they have to start going for the work. Uh, First, we have to understand what is anxiety, what is the state of mind of a dog. When we say my dog is anxious, anxious state of mind is always panicked to the level where they are not confident that they'll survive that situation. So, threat for their survival, the state of mind where they are feeling threatened for their survival is what I consider as anxious state of mind. Why separation anxiety? Dog is a pack animal. They live in the territory. Dog's life is always with the pack. It's unlike human. Human can stay alone, but dogs cannot stay alone. You will never find a dog staying alone on the street. If you find one, that dog will have definitely a human pack around. Similarly, the pet dogs, they have the human pack who are living inside the house. So the house becomes the territory for the pet dog. The human family becomes the pack. So it's not a family for the dog, it's a pack for the dog. Now, dog cannot survive alone, and in nature, no dog leaves the territory. So when this happens in human community, that means human pack leaves the territory. Your pet doesn't have the confidence that human will come back, and hence they start feeling anxious that they'll not be able to survive this particular situation where they are left alone. So it's not a discomfort. You don't think that your pet is just making tantrums. It's an anxiety where they are threatened for their survival, and you have to take it seriously because prolonged exposure of this kind of anxiety will start impacting their health as well. So constant stress definitely will create. There have been certain cases in which the dogs in the panic mode starts hurting themselves and bleeding their nails, bleeding their gums, sorry,
Yeah,
teeth, to tear up
absolutely right.
the.
We had,
Sorry.
I think, five, absolutely right. We have, I think, five questions exactly like this, where pet parents have asked, pets start vomiting, peeing on the bed, which way they were not
Yes.
doing, not
Yes.
sleeping at all, destroying furniture, biting their paws, causing
Correct.
self harm. So
Correct.
you're very
Yes.
right.
So
So
all.
all these questions are getting answered here, you know.
Yes, yes, yes. So all this is sign of anxiety. Now, how to fix that anxiety is not by leaving the pet for a longer duration, assuming that after some time the pet will settle down. No, if a life is threatened for the survival, the life will never settle down. Only when you see the pet being settled down, is the only reason is the pet doesn't have energy to react to the anxieties. But state of mind is still anxious. The fixation for this is simple. You have to build the confidence of your pet that you go but you come back. So if you have the puppy, if you, any of the parents attending today's webinar, if you are getting a pup in near future, or you have a younger pup below 4 months of age, start leaving the puppy on a daily basis, at least for half an hour to 1 hour, when they are sleeping around, not when they are active. So when they are sleeping around, they'll not bother about you leaving the place, but definitely your leaving out and coming back will get registered into pet's brain. Now, before the instinct of the dog instinct is developed in your pet, that means after 4 5 months they understand what is pack and all. Before that is developed, you mold their mind to understand that the human pack goes out of the territory, but they come back and there is no threat for the pet's life. Once the pet has this confidence, the pet will never get into separation anxiety mode. Now, if an adult dog has already got into this mode on a daily basis, I would rather recommend everyone to consult a professional before going ahead with this kind of practices. But yes, on a high level, shorter duration, multiple leaving the pet alone. That means even if it is for 1 minute of leaving, just go out and come back, just go out and come back. Keep on doing this exercise so that the pet builds the confidence that the human goes, but they come back. Once the pet is comfortable for 1 minute, you can then extend it to 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and on. So it might be a tedious and lengthy process, but this is how it has to be done. There is no other way to fix the anxiety. You have to build the confidence of your pet that you go, but you come back. If you have the puppy, like I said, started from first week itself, after not even first week, I would say after the first vaccination, start leaving your puppy alone at least for 30 minutes. You will be preventing separation anxiety developing into your pet. By the way, prevention of separation anxiety is 100% success. Correction of separation anxiety in male dogs, 80% success; in female dogs, 80% failure. So
Oh,
just be
okay.
cautious about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So female dogs are more skeptical about all these situations. They don't respond well to separation anxiety. So if you have an adult female dog, you have to be very cautiously going ahead with correcting the separation anxiety.
Okay, understood. That I think answers a lot of our questions. Thank you so much. We will move on to what there is one more interesting question, Vaibhav, on the same thing. There is a person who had asked us ki when we leave, the pet gets something of ours, keeps it with it, but then it destroys it. So this is because the pet has first tried to comfort itself and then gotten aggressive because he's not gotten what he wanted, he, she.
Okay. Now, I'll talk about this. So, apart from separation anxiety, there is one separation discomfort also.
Okay,
This term is not being used anywhere else. This is what I have defined, just because they are two different state of mind when we talk about separation anxiety and separation discomfort. Separation anxiety is threat for the survival, just because the pet doesn't have the confidence that the human parent will come back.
correct.
Separation discomfort is just like how the human will feel uncomfortable when left alone inside the house. Uh,
Understood.
uh, if, uh, if the pet is active, is not tired, and you leave him or her alone inside the house, obviously they'll get angry that why didn't you take me along? To show that kind of anger, many a times they'll pick up certain object and try to tear it up, just to show the displeasure of not taking your pet
Being left
along.
alone.
being
Understood.
left alone. Now, fixation of this is, I mean, with the age, obviously, this will mellow down. After 2, 3 years of age, they mellow down with this. Younger dogs will show this kind of behaviors more when left alone. One is you never have to leave your pet alone when they are active. That means before leaving, you have to give them a good walk. The ritual before leaving should be you dress up, you take them out for the walk, you come back, you drop them back, you give something to eat, something to chew, that means some treats, so that they get busy, and don't rush out, but yes, leave the place at the earliest. So don't make a big scene while going out, just take it normally, and your dressing up should not be associated to leaving them alone. So dress up, take them out for the walk, come back, and after dropping, you leave the place, so you don't have to dress up to leave them alone. uh, Still, if the destruction is happening, you purposely keep something on the table or a furniture which you are okay to be destroyed. So don't give it to the pet, keep it at the place where the pet thinks that he has stolen it, and destroy it. So this is how we have to manage this particular behavior.
Understood. Very lovely. Very, very, I mean, a lot of insight for me also. Though I don't have destructive pets, but very good insight if I get more.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. The second most question we got was aggression in dogs. Now, I think before we even go there, I think you should define what an aggression really is. I believe that first time pet parents might think differently, and old timers like us might think differently about what is an aggressive dog. I think the second question in the aggression came up that my puppy bites a lot. What should I do? And how can I stop it from biting? And playfulness, when it bites, also it hurts me. So, how do I make a differentiation between playful biting? But I think that will still start from what do we define as aggression?
Yeah. Yes, it's a good question, Arpita. Actually, everyone should know the puppies until the age of 4, 5 months can never be aggressive. Aggression is a state of mind again. Just like in humans, we use a sophisticated term anger. For the same state of mind in animals, we call it as aggression. Okay. Aggression is where they are purposely doing to harm others. Puppies at the age of 4, 5 months doesn't have the potential to really go harm others. Obviously, there is one aggression that is shown by few dogs, which we call it as resource guarding. That means if you try to take out something from their jaw, they might bite you. Apart from this aggression, there is no aggression shown by any pet when the puppy until the age of 5 months. If any puppy is biting you, it is just a play. Dogs don't have hands; they have only teeth. So whatever they have to do is using their teeth. So they have to. You are using your hands to play with the pet. The pets are using their teeth to play with you. Yes, obviously, because of the sharp teeth, you might get bruises, some cuts on your skin. But intention of pet is never to harm you. Coming
Okay.
to aggression is a state of mind where the dog is really angry and is acting in a way to kind of harm the other life, not really harm, but making sure the other life backs off. Aggression is again, there are so many aggressions seen in dogs. We cannot cover all those in today's webinar, but
Mm.
yes, uh, any aggression shown by any dog post 7 to 8 months of age has to be taken very seriously. Don't do any experimentation based on the information on Google or YouTube. Consult a professional, because again, the reason of aggression has to be figured out, and that reason has to be removed, rather than simply going ahead and training the dog for stopping the aggression. I'll just give you an example. If my pet dog is reacting to other dog, it could be different reason. It could be hormonal aggression, it could be unsocial aggression, it could be aggression out of certain pain. Unless somebody doesn't diagnose what is causing that aggression, and simply going ahead and stopping my dog to behave aggressively, will keep on aggravating that behavior inside. It is just not coming out, but it is developing inside, and one day it will go out of control. So
Understood.
another thing is, when you seek a professional or trainer's help to address the aggression,
Hmm.
and if it is being suppressed by the trainer, the dog being very submissive to the trainer because of the personality difference will not show those kind of behaviors in front of the trainer, but the moment there is no professional around, the aggravated behavior might be shown to the humans around, including the family. So it's
Hmm.
extremely important that you get the diagnosis of the aggression and then start working on removing the reason of that aggression rather than straight away going ahead and fixing the aggression. So it's a vast thing. It has to be taken case to case basis. But
But
yes,
before
puppies are
we
never yes.
Yeah. So even before we go there, I think a lot of questions that were asked is, my pet is very aggressive when people come home. I think that is not aggression,
Ah,
right?
okay.
That
Yes,
is
yes, 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 yes,
excitement.
yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's define
Yes.
the aggression. What is aggression and what is
Correct, correct.
what
So
is
hyperactivity and super excitement is not aggression. Aggression
correct.
is with the intention of harming others.
Hmm.
Excitement is just to play around. Yes, it could be hyperactive way of engaging with other dogs and humans, but it is never aggression. Like I said, puppies up till the age of 5 6 months can never show aggression. Whatever they are doing is super excitement. Most of the I won't say 100%, but most of the labs retriever never show any sort of beagles never show any sort of aggressions towards other humans or other dogs until 7 8 months of age, and in fact later also may most of these breeds are because they are in general very docile. They don't show. There can be certain pets, obviously some exceptions in these breeds, which might get aggressive. But yes, up till 7 8 months, they don't show. Why I'm talking about 7 8 months is because after 7 8 months, many of even these breeds show dog to dog aggression. The most common reason is hormones. That means once they get into adolescence after 6 months of age, they might get into a brawl with other unneutered male dogs.
Correct.
So,
That is also
uh,
another question we have gotten.
yes, so super excitement is not aggression, hyperactivity is not aggression. The solution of this kind of behavior is just get the dog tired, get enough of exercises that the pet doesn't have too much of energy to get overexcited in certain situation. Coming to aggression in adult dogs, two major reasons for them to show aggressions towards other humans and dogs. One is unsocial behavior. Unsocial behavior means on a regular basis, the pet is not exposed to meeting new humans and meeting new dogs. New is very important here. I'll see whether I'll be able to elaborate on this new, but on a high level, meeting new dog is socializing, meeting new human is socializing. It's not the same set of humans or same set of dogs. If this kind of exposure is not given to the dog, dog tends to become unsocial, and in unsocial dog doesn't want to really go harm others, but they are threatened again for their survival. They think that in certain situation when there's a new dog or there's a new human around, they'll not be able to survive, and to protect themselves they start reacting in an aggressive
They're
way.
also territorial, Vaibhav. They get territorial when
Yes, so territorial will happen only within their territory, not outside. So yes, there
okay.
are territorial aggressions. Again, if during the COVID this has happened a lot because people were not coming to the house, the dog doesn't, the pet dog never got an experience that new human coming to their place is not a threat. So
Right.
this is one very common aggression, unsocial behavior. Second is hormonal aggression. Hormonal means male to male tend to prove themselves stronger than each other and might get into a brawl. This happens only with adult unneutered male dogs, or fighting might happen between two females as well. But generally, female to
It's
female will not happen immediately. It takes a while for them to get into that state of mind of fighting. Uh, so fixation of the first one is, please keep your dogs social. That means let the dog keep on meeting other dogs on a regular basis, and it shouldn't be the same set of dog. The pet has to keep on meeting new dogs. New should be normal for your pet, whether it be humans or other pets or dogs. Solution of hormonal aggression is get your pet sterilized. If you have any concerns, queries, you can check with some behavioral consultant where they'll guide you what is pros and cons of sterilization. Sterilization means neuter in dog, castration, spaying in females. So these are two different surgeries being done. Consult your professional and understand what you should expect after the surgery, whether the current behavior is because of the hormones or not. Because if it is not, let's say if it is hormonal aggression, unsocial aggression, you neuter the dog, it will
It
bring up
doesn't
no
work.
results.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't. And this is what again have been seen by many parents, that after neutering nothing has changed. The reason behind that is the problem was not because of the hormone. So unless the concern or the behavior is not related to hormones, the neuter or spaying will not make any difference to the behavior.
Okay, understood. Okay. I think last, which we will cover without having, and then we'll take questions. Vaibhav, is Diwali is coming close. All our pets get very anxious, loud noises, you know, patakas everywhere. No matter aap
Yeah.
kitna bhi, how much you soundproof your house, there is
Yeah.
still some noise that carries through, and our pets do get very, very anxious. So, what
Yes.
is it that you would suggest few tips that
Yeah.
you think will work? Because I've tried so many over the years, but not all of them work.
Yeah. So again, loud noise creates a lot of anxieties in the pets. This kind of noise, because it's very unusual for a pet to experience suddenly on one fine day, making them comfortable with these sounds is almost impossible. To the level where the pet is not really getting anxious. Certain dogs does show the tendency of not reacting to the loud noises, but yes, most of the pet will show that at certain different levels. Fixation in this short period definitely is not possible. So we can talk about what best can be done to address it for this Diwali. One is keep your dog tired. Tired dog will have lesser energy to react to the anxieties.
Interesting.
Making the dog tired is by taking your pet to the new places and letting them sniff around. That means sniffing, because sniffing is the most intense mental stimulation. Let your pet sniff around, take the pet to the new places. If possible, take your pet to the pet parks, dog parks, where the pet gets to play with other dogs. And this is during the daytime before the cracker starts coming into the picture.
Got
Uh,
it.
Inside the house, close all the doors, all the windows, put all the curtains so that the sparkles are not seen by the dogs, because they can associate the sound with the sparkle. The moment sparkle is there, within a couple of seconds, they'll hear the sound. The same happens with thunderstorm, by the way. Uh, Put on loud music in the house. Loud music doesn't mean that it has to be a calming music. There's no relation of calming the dog with the music, but suppressing the sudden thuds or loud
Got
sound coming from the outside. Uh, never, never give any calming medicine to your pet during these situation. Uh, we can talk about this topic in the later webinars, Arpita.
Right.
It's a bit longer one to cover up, but calming medicine is not going to fix it. It is kind of sedation to your pet. No pet parent would want to sedate the pet just to fix up a problem. Now, still your pet will be anxious. When the pet is anxious, you don't become anxious, because the moment you become anxious, you are letting your pet know that there is a problem with the current situation. You either
Right.
have to be extremely calm, don't react a lot, or start playing or get excited with your pet. Excitement suppresses the anxieties. It's a counter state of mind. So if you get excited, your pet will be lesser anxious. Don't start feeling bad about your pet experiencing the anxiety, because when you feel bad about it, you are not anyways helping your pet. The best thing to do it is either play and all, or otherwise, if your pet is sitting next to you, start scratching the skin from the reverse side of the coat. That means you have to scratch the skin of your pet with your nails very strongly. The reason behind that is, when the pet experiences or anyone experiences anxieties, the body stiffens. To relax the body, when you massage the body very firmly with your nails, it relaxes the body, and slowly the pet will also start feeling relaxed.
Okay.
You can
Interesting.
thump also. You can thump the side portion of the chest. That means the rib portion you have to thump. You don't have to hit, but you have to thump. Thumping also relaxes the muscle. The intention is, once the body is relaxed, the mind also tends to relax down a bit.
Understood.
Okay. At
Understood.
least
Right.
this will not show your anxiety towards your pet and will be a better situation.
Understood. Thank you so much, Vaibhav. That really, really helps. Now we'll start taking questions. I think one question we had, and I will read this one out, is that there is a pet called Chuckles that sort of behaves, is scared of everyone, and always feels threatened. She doesn't allow anybody to pet her. She's suspicious of even the pet parent, even the pet parent's daughter, and she isn't friendly with any other people or any other dogs. And this is causing, no one has any idea of why, why she's threatened. But how do we make her feel less threatened? Because she's an indie who was rescued from the highway, she probably has, uh, some stigma from there. But what can we do to make her, feel less threatened? And I'm not sure how many years this pet has been with them, but they do say that the pet is an adult pet.
Mhm. Okay, so anxieties is very common in indie breed. The reason
Yeah.
behind that is indies are
Oh, they do
natural
say,
dogs.
sorry, she's 6 years old, Vaibhav. She's six
Okay.
years old. Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so I would say it. I mean, obviously, the exposure to the certain environment in a controlled way will help the pet build up more confidence towards certain situation. The situation shouldn't be overexposed. That means we have to see that we are closing the chapter of the exposure before the dog gets into a panic state. It has to
Hmm.
be very controlled exposure so that the registration happens to the pet that I experienced certain situation, but I came out alive out of that situation. So again, survival threat of the survival is what causes the anxieties. So she
Understood.
not being exposed to all these situations until the age of 5 months have caused this anxiety. Okay, I'm
Okay.
not sure what has happened until 5 months of age, but if they have adopted her when she has already crossed 5 months of age, that means she was not aware of all the circumstances or the situations that she's experiencing now.
Right.
Now, going ahead with fixing this kind of anxiety for a 6-year-old might be too stressful for the pet to experience. Yes, we
Right.
can see what best can be done so that the situation doesn't become overwhelming for her. But yes, going ahead and thinking about totally rehabilitation of this pet might be too much stressful for the dog to experience. So I would rather suggest go for a professional, but set up the expectation the pet will remain kind of anxious until her age. Yes, we can work towards building her confidence in the situation which are being more frequently observed or experienced by her.
Okay. Got it. Now, the other question we've got is that, wha- let me go as it comes. Um, there is an adult. Okay, we've covered loud noises. So, loud noise, this pet is very scared to walk on a busy road, and she's very timid. How do we help overcome this?
The loud noise of the traffic.
Yes. So
Okay.
the adult dog is scared of loud noises, and that's why does not want to walk on busy roads.
Okay. So again, exposure to the environment has to be done. But many a times, what we do is we immediately expose to the extremes of the situation where the dog is panicked and no registration is happening. Seeking the professional assistance, or if you want to do it yourself, start from the point where you see the first sign of the dog showing the anxiety. That means build up the confidence at the lowest level of anxiety and take one step at a time. Don't rush to fix the anxiety. Anxiety is a state of mind. I'll give you the example. We Many snakes are not poisonous, but most of the people cannot touch the snake. So if I force somebody to go touch the snake, just because I'm not scared of the snake, I cannot hold up the hand of any human and make them touch the snake. What will happen is they'll slap me back. The same happens for the anxious dog. They are anxious and panicked. At that time, you overexpose them to the certain situation, they lose further confidence of that particular situation. It has to be done in a very controlled way, one step at a time, no rushing, and let it take how much time it needs.
Takes to get
Consi-
used to this.
yes, and just very short explanation of what I was talking about. 5 6 months of age. Anybody in this webinar having pet lesser than 5 6 months of age, uh, always remember initial 6 months of experience for the pet decides next 15 years. So whatever a pet is getting comfortable and confident with within 5 to 6 months will never develop anxiety towards it. Obviously, you have to keep on exposing the pet, but on a lesser frequency. But initial 5 6 months, you have to put lots and lots of efforts for your pet to experience everything that the pet has to experience for next 15 years. Not only experience, but being comfortable around that circumstances. So quickly giving you an example, meeting new humans should be normal for a pet. Meeting new dogs should be normal for a pet. Going to new places should be normal for a pet. Walking in the traffic should be normal. Driving in the car, going into the lift, being alone inside the house, these are the things that every pet parent should focus to make their pet comfortable within 6 months of age. Once it is comfortable, I can guarantee that the pet will never develop anxiety. Obviously, there shouldn't be a break for a few months to get exposure to these situations after 6 months of age.
Understood. There is one more question, Vaibhav. Why my 2.5-year-old dog hums a lot with his bed?
Unneutered, if hormones is causing the humping.
Right.
If it is unneutered pet, don't stop the pet, because at least some relaxation of the hormonal stress will be done with this. Otherwise, this stress might result into other behavioral issues. Humping should be stopped on other dogs and humans, but if the pet is humping on the bed or soft toys, let the pet do that, because otherwise the stress, psychological stress builds up and converts into other behavioral
Yes.
issues.
Understood. Okay. Now, another question we have is, why does my almost 2-year-old lab always need attention? If he doesn't get attention, he destroys something.
Okay, this is a clear sign of lack of exercises. Many times we think exercises are only physical, but in Bangalore city, most of the people are only working with a mental job, no physical activity, but still more tired than somebody doing the physical work. Always remember, mental stimulation brings up better results than the physical exercise. Physical exercises, if tiredness of the physical exercise is recovered within few hours, or could be lesser than that, but mentally drained out pet remains calmer for a longer duration. The recovery is slower. You'll have to put lesser efforts to get your pet drained out mentally than physically. Obviously, we have very young pets nowadays in Bangalore, and
Mm.
draining them out physically is almost impossible for the pets to do, parents to do. So, if you focus on getting the pet mentally drained out, you'll have a better situation at home. This kind of destruction is simple sign of boredom, which is there because the pet has a lot of energy but no opportunity to channelize. One quick pointers for mentally stimulating the pet. One is meeting new dogs. Okay, meeting when the pet the dog is playing with another dog. It's not only the play, physical exercise, but mental stimulation is also because he or she is gathering the information of the personality of the other pet. What are the likes and dislikes of the other pet, including human, but dog to dog is brings up better results. Another is keep on walking your pet to the new location. If the nose of your pet is down, the walks are good. If the nose is up, walks are waste. So if your pet is sniffing around, let the pet sniff. If you see that pet is not showing the interest in sniffing, change your location. Just do it for 3 days. For next 3 days, 2 walks in the new location, half an hour morning to evening, and you'll see the difference in your pet's behavior indoors.
Oh, wow. Lovely. Okay. I hope that whoever has asked this question, gets this answer and tries it. Do let us know if it worked. Okay. So there is another question from Swati, and she says that she has a 1.3-year-old Indie. It walks and listens to the trainer, but when she takes him out, or even when he's off the leash, it refuses to listen to her. In the house, he will listen, but outside, he doesn't listen.
Okay. Uh, Trainer being more stern with the dogs, dogs tend to respond better to the trainers, not to the parents. I cannot expect the parents to learn what the trainers are doing. But yes, ask your trainer what exactly he or she is doing with the pet. Practice in front of the professional. You are wasting your time by letting your trainer work with the pet without you learning what needs to be done after the session is over. So always participate in the sessions. always seek reasoning of what is being done, why it is being done, and how exactly you can do it in the absence, and what you should be expecting. uh, Not listening outside, not listening is just like the pet is not giving enough of importance to the pet parent. That is because of lack of strictness or assertion from the pet parent. Yes, with the professional, whoever is working with the pet, you can learn how to do it, or at least set up the expectation that this particular expectation shouldn't be there for the pet parent, just because the level of assertion from the pet parent is not sufficient for the pet to respond outside.
Understood. Okay. Now there are some dogs that chase bikes, cars, and bark excessively at new people. So what do we do for that?
This is prey drive, chasing scooters, bikes, running kids, cycle. It's a a very deep instinct of a dog, which you call it as prey drive. Extremely difficult to fix it, but yes, it can be easily managed if you understand how to walk your dog properly on the leash. Second is, many times, if possible, for especially for the puppy pet parents, the moment you see the puppy is showing certain tendencies of chasing fast moving objects, if the situation allows, let the puppy chase that, because once they know that chasing is not getting them any results, eventually they stop it. If I give you example of both of my dogs, they used to chase birds while on the walks. I used to
Hmm.
leave the leash when they used to chase the bird. Within a couple of months, they stopped chasing the bird, knowing that they are not going to win anything out
Catch
chasing them.
the bird. Understood.
So
Right.
let them understand. So because we stop them with the leash, they don't understand that they are not going to achieve anything, and throughout their life they keep on doing it.
Understood.
Obviously, this
Interesting.
solution might not be applicable for many pet parents, but then seek again professional assistance how to manage that situation rather than fixing this prey drive. Once it is developed into the dog, it is very difficult. Barking at the humans could be of two reasons. One is invitation. That means the pet is extremely excited to go and meet the humans. Again, it has to be managed. You cannot expect the pet not to get excited. Obviously, when you socialize your pet, they will be really happy, especially very extrovert breeds like
Yeah.
retrievers and lab beagles.
That's
They will be super excited. Don't expect that your pet shouldn't be doing it. Try to manage it. If you are not able to manage, consult a professional to manage. Don't try to fix, because the moment you try to fix, you are building up that instinct deeper in within the pet, and one day it will come out in a different form.
understood. So there is somebody who's asked how to train the dog to correct resource guarding, but I think that is a much longer topic, Weber. So that probably we will do in a next session that we do. We'll take up these more serious topics. I'll go to the next question. For all of you who have cat questions, we are really sorry. Weber works only with dogs. While he may be able to answer a few questions on cats, which are common, he will not be able to answer cat behavioral questions. So what we are going to do is we will do another webinar for cat parents specifically in the next coming months. So hold on to your cat questions for now, right? So first, who's asked about Zoe being extra hyper when a guest comes in? Uh, we've already covered this in the earlier things where we have said that it is natural instinct of a dog to be excited. Let's not curb that. If you know new people are going to come to your place, please tire the pet out before that. Or what I do, and this is my personal thing, is that I keep treats handy when I know that they're excited. The minute they get overexcited, I give two treats and then they calm down, because by then the person has also taken a seat and then the pet calms down. So I don't know if Weber recommends it, but it works
Uh,
for me.
Yes, definitely. I mean, whatever works, but set up the expectation that it's not going to fix. With the age, it will mellow down. Obviously, the basic solution is the pet has to be tired. Another thing that you can do is, if it is extremely important for you to make sure the pet is not really disturbing the guest, make the pet meet the guest downstairs. That means go receive the guest with your pet. In more distracted area, your pet will not only be focused on your guest but many other things, whereas the meeting will also happen when the guest comes to your place and the bell rings. The first thing, when the bell rings, the dog by default
Very
gets
excited.
excited, and then the only focus point is your guest, so all the excitement goes into greeting the guest. Whereas if you spend 5-10 minutes outdoors walking with the guest along with your pet, the pet would have already met your guest and wouldn't show that level of excitement to greet your guest.
Nice. That's very nice. Very, very understanding. This is great to understand. So, this person says they have two dogs, and while it took some time for them to get along, they were working on separation anxiety for the older dog as well. And the other one is who's a lockdown baby, and the younger one is just 6 months old. So, the younger one is very confident at home and seems to be more dominating than the older one. uh, the elder one is now getting scared of everyone, humans and dogs, and is very dependent on the younger one. How to, reduce this kind of codependency of the older dog on the younger dog?
Okay, so dog in natural world, they follow the psychological hierarchy. So when we say dominant, it's not dominant; it's more of assertion. I'll explain later about the difference between dominance and assertion. But
Hmm.
according to me, dogs are more assertive, not dominant.
Hmm.
So your younger one is more assertive than the elder one. You cannot do anything between to change the equation between both of them. Yes, the best that you can do is whenever the one is troubling the elder one, you can pitch in and stop the interaction by being firm yourself. That's what the best that you can do. But in your absence, you cannot expect your younger one to trouble the elder one. Now, elder one being a single pet doesn't know how to deal with other dog. So this is what the challenge is. He might not have got a lot of exposure to be with other dogs, so that he knows how to handle when some other dog is troubling him, which is why the critical situation is coming in. You have to pitch in, but you don't have to worry. Within few months, the younger one once becomes 1.5 years of age, he will also mellow down. So you don't have to put lot of efforts to fix it. Try to manage it. uh, Now elder one being more dependent on the younger one, again, simple reason is younger is psychologically a stronger personality. Stronger gives more confidence to the mellow one, the docile one. So elder one is docile. So in dog world, age, size, gender does not matter. What matters is who is psychologically stronger and who is weaker relatively. So stronger gives more confidence to the weaker one. Your elder one, unfortunately, is psychologically weaker than the younger one, which is why he is more dependent on the younger one. But this is how the dog world works.
Got it. Understood. One last question is that my 1 6-year-old Indie, who has been attacking the 15-year-old Beagle off late, they used to get along very well together, but they're getting into too many fights suddenly. What could have
Uh,
caused these fights?
are the are these two both females?
Yeah, one is the Indie is a female, the 15-year-old Beagle is a male.
And the female has started attacking the 15-year-old.
Male. Yes.
Okay. Now this is very specific situation. We have to understand what went, because I would assume the younger one, 6-year-old, is being with the 15-year-old since beginning, and why suddenly there's a fight started happening. Unless it is not diagnosed with specific reason, it cannot be fixed. I mean, we have to first find the reason and see whether it
And
can be fixed. Sorry.
okay. You need to understand a lot more before you can comment on
Yes, yes.
something like this.
Why,
So,
when it started, why it started.
right. Hetal, we have left Vaibhav's number. You can contact him on WhatsApp, take a time from him, have a chat with him to give him a lot more details about this and get an answer. Vaibhav, we'll end with two things that people have asked, which I think are relevant for all of us. One is that, do dogs love hugs?
It depends upon personality to personality. They might like, they might not like, and even if someone likes it, it might not be liking it all the time. So
Right.
just see whether your dog is happy to be hugged around. Many times we tend to do it to irritate them. Not a problem. Just don't irritate the dog to the level where the dog starts showing certain intense behavioral issues. But otherwise, yes, you can go hug your pet. You don't have to worry a lot. But yes, make sure that you are not hugging others' pet. Always remember, the pet has a different equation with the family that the pet is staying with. Seeing the family doing that, please don't attempt it, because that causes irritation to the pet and might react unexpectedly to the people who are outside the family or not in a regular touch with the pet. So if you have the confidence, if just try to approach, see how he's reacting, the pet is he or she is reacting. If you see that there's a welcome note from the pet, yes, you can go ahead. But if you see that the pet is showing certain reluctance by turning the head, going away from you, not showing the similar excitement to hug, avoid doing it. But that
Okay,
doesn't apply to the family. They can do it.
understood. Last and very last question, Vaibhav, is that how do we generally keep our pets happy?
Okay. Uh, Always remember what I tell to the parents. People like me in Bangalore are having our job or profession just because the pets are not getting their job done. Keep your dog mentally and physically engaged. Whenever you get a pet at home, make sure that you are spending enough of time with them in a productive way. And when I say productive, doesn't mean that you play around inside the house. Spend lots and lot of time outdoors, because when the pet is outdoors, the pet gets to explore new world, explore new humans, explore new dogs. It keeps the dog social, it keeps the dog mentally healthy, because it is stimulating their brain. If you spend a couple of hours inside the house, just 50% of the time try to spend outdoors, and you yourself will see the difference in the personality of the pet. And the tired and happy engaged brain is always happy.
Hmm,
Okay, empty
perfect.
brain will always seek one of the other reasons to trouble others.
Okay, got it. Also, I think, like he said, if the way I believe our pets are happy is with a lot of attention, with good food, very important. I think all of us are, yeah, we're doing this because we believe pets should get good food. And the third is, I think, not treating them like pets at all, but treating them like family members. I think that is what I believe.
Very true.
I'm sure, most of you also believe the same. Thank you so much for having joined this webinar.